In the late 1700s, a young man named George Washington was growing up in Virginia. He was known for his honesty, integrity, and leadership skills, and he quickly rose through the ranks of the military. In 1775, George was appointed as the commander-in-chief of the Continental Army, which was fighting for independence from Great Britain. Over the next several years, George led his troops through many battles, including the famous crossing of the Delaware River on Christmas Day in 1776. Despite facing many challenges and setbacks, George never gave up. He continued to fight for what he believed in, and eventually, the Continental Army emerged victorious in the Revolutionary War. After the war, George became the first president of the United States. He served 2 terms in office, during which he helped establish many of the institutions and traditions that still exist today. But George's legacy goes far beyond his accomplishments as a military leader and politician. He was a man of great character and integrity, and he set an example for future generations to follow. Meanwhile, across the ocean in Scotland, another hero was rising to prominence. His name was William Wallace, and he was a fierce warrior who fought for Scottish independence from England. William led his troops into battle against the English, and he became known for his bravery and skill on the battlefield. He inspired his fellow Scotsmen to fight for their freedom, and he became a symbol of hope and resilience in the face of oppression. Despite facing overwhelming odds, William never gave up. He continued to fight for what he believed in, and eventually, the Scottish forces emerged victorious in the Battle of Stirling Bridge. William's legacy lives on today, inspiring people around the world to stand up for what they believe in and fight for their freedom. In a different part of the world, a young girl named Harriet Tubman was growing up in Maryland. She was born into slavery, and she suffered many hardships throughout her life. But Harriet was determined to escape slavery and help others do the same. She became a conductor on the Underground Railroad, leading hundreds of slaves to freedom in the North. Despite facing many dangers and obstacles, Harriet never gave up. She continued to fight for what she believed in, and she became a symbol of hope and resilience for African Americans and women everywhere. Harriet's legacy lives on today, inspiring people to stand up for their rights and fight for justice and equality. These 3 heroes, George Washington, William Wallace, and Harriet Tubman, may have lived in different times and places, but they all shared a common trait. They never gave up in the face of adversity. They fought for what they believed in, and they inspired others to do the same. Their stories remind us that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope for a better future. We can all learn from their example and strive to make the world a better place, one small step at a time.